If you've been doing the right things, cutting fast food, watching your portions, even adding supplements, but something still feels off, your energy is low, your belly won't budge, and you're aging faster than you expect, and every blood test comes back saying your liver looks completely fine, this video is specifically for you. Because here's what almost nobody tells you about your liver after 45. It ages differently than any other organ in your body. Not because of genetics, not because of alcohol, because of a direct pipeline. It's called the portal vein, and everything you eat flows through it first at full concentration. Before it reaches your heart, before it reaches your brain, your liver intercepts it all. After 45, the way that pipeline handles certain foods changes in ways that never show up on a standard checkup. And 3 of those foods are almost certainly in your kitchen right now. In the next 11 minutes, I'll walk you through exactly which 3 foods are accelerating your liver's biological age. And the 3 foods that reverse that process using the same pipeline. Stage by stage, so you can make a different decision starting with your very next meal. Before we look at the specific foods, you need to understand what has already shifted inside your liver by 45. 3 changes happen simultaneously, and they make every food decision you make from this point more consequential. First, liver cell renewal slows down. Before 45, a damaged hepatocyte, a liver cell, is replaced relatively quickly. After 45, that regeneration takes significantly longer. Damage accumulates faster than it's repaired. Second, blood flow through the portal vein peaks in your mid-40s, then begins a measurable decline. A 2023 study using 4-dimensional flow MRI found something striking about that pipeline. Portal vein net flow drops by nearly 40% in adults in their 60s compared to younger adults. What that means practically: food compounds delivered to your liver linger longer, at higher concentrations, with each passing decade. Third, your liver's primary antioxidant glutathione declines in production with age. Less glutathione means less defense against the oxidative stress that dietary compounds generate inside liver tissue. Now, most people assume liver damage is about alcohol, medications, or genetics. And while those matter, the most consistent daily driver of liver biological aging is far more ordinary. It's the food currently moving through that portal vein 3 times a day. There are 3 food categories that accelerate your liver's biological age after 45. And 3, that slow and in some cases reverse that process using the same delivery mechanism. Let's go through all 6, stage by stage. Stage 1, fructose and added sugar. When you eat something sweet-flavored yogurt, a granola bar, a glass of fruit juice, fructose enters the portal vein immediately. More than 90% of all dietary fructose is processed by your liver via first-pass portal delivery. No other tissue intercepts it first. It arrives at your liver at full, undiluted dose. At younger ages, the liver handles moderate fructose loads efficiently. But after 45, slower cell renewal and declining portal clearance change that equation. Fructose triggers a process called de novo lipogenesis, the liver converting excess sugar directly into fat. Research published in Nutrients confirms fructose activates this lipogenesis pathway more powerfully than a high-fat diet alone. That fat doesn't clear quickly. It accumulates. It ages the liver tissue from the inside. Here's what makes this different after 45. Your portal vein is now delivering the same fructose dose to a liver that repairs more slowly and has less antioxidant defense. The food hasn't changed, the pipeline has. The same breakfast you ate at 35 creates a measurably different hepatic response at 50. Stage 2. Ultra-processed carbohydrates. Ultra-processed carbohydrates, white bread, packaged crackers, breakfast cereals, flavored snacks, don't deliver fructose directly. But they spike blood glucose sharply, and that spike triggers an aggressive insulin response. Chronically elevated insulin drives a different, but equally damaging liver process. It tells your liver to keep producing fat even when you're not eating, a state called hepatic insulin resistance. After 45, insulin sensitivity naturally declines as a baseline biological shift. Each ultra-processed meal pushes your liver further into that resistant state. Here's what makes this different after 45. Even mildly elevated insulin below what would flag on a standard blood test can suppress liver fat oxidation. That suppression can last up to 12 hours from a single processed meal. One mid-morning snack shifts your liver's metabolic behavior for half the day. At 35, that system recovers faster. At 50, the suppression window stays open longer. Stage 3. The omega-6 imbalance and your entry point into reversal. This is the stage most people miss entirely, and it's where the real mechanism becomes visible. Most ultra-processed foods, fried foods, and packaged products are made with oils extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. When those compounds arrive at your liver through the portal vein with almost no omega-3 to balance them, they activate an inflammatory signaling pathway inside liver cells called NF-kappa B. One study found that the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, not the total quantity of any single fat, is the critical driver of NASH progression. Modern Western diets deliver an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of roughly 20 to 1. The ratio humans evolved with is closer to 4 to 1. Here's what makes this different after 45. As portal vein flow slows with age, these inflammatory lipid signals are retained in liver tissue for longer periods. Exposure time increases, and the cumulative inflammatory burden compounds across months and years. But here is the discovery hidden inside that mechanism. Your portal vein doesn't only deliver damage, it can deliver reversal at the same concentrated dose. The next 3 foods use that exact pipeline to interrupt what the first 3 started. Stage 4. Extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil contains 2 key compounds, oleocanthal and hydroxytyrosol. Both travel via the portal vein directly to liver cells, delivering their effect at the exact site of damage. They act as anti-inflammatory and antioxidant agents where the accumulation happens. A 2024 systematic review of randomized controlled trials published in Nutrients confirmed this directly. Olive oil consumption measurably improved liver enzyme levels and metabolic markers in NAFLD patients. A large population study, the MECOL study, found high extra virgin olive oil intake was linked to a significantly lower prevalence of fatty liver. The effect was most prominent in the subjects at highest metabolic risk. Here's what makes this different after 45. Because portal vein flow slows with age, polyphenol compounds from olive oil may actually concentrate in liver cells at higher levels. The anti-inflammatory effect may be amplified, not reduced in the 45-plus liver. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily is the threshold used in most clinical trials, showing measurable benefit. Stage 5. Cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower contain a compound called sulforaphane. When absorbed and delivered through the portal vein, sulforaphane activates a cellular pathway called NRF2. NRF2 is your liver's primary detoxification switch, and it has a direct relationship with glutathione production. NRF2 activation increases the production of glutathione, the same antioxidant that declines naturally with age after 45. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition found cruciferous vegetables activate liver detoxification enzymes. They also measurably reduce hepatic oxidative stress in human dietary studies. Here's what makes this different after 45. Cruciferous vegetables aren't just adding a nutrient, they're compensating for a specific deficit that emerges in your mid-40s. You're not supplementing a healthy system, you're restoring a declining one. 1 to 2 servings daily, lightly steamed or raw, is sufficient to activate the NRF2 pathway. Steam rather than boil temperatures above 80 degrees Celsius begin to deactivate sulforaphane. Stage 6. Fatty fish and omega-3 restoration. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel deliver EPA and DHA through the portal vein directly to liver tissue. These omega-3 fatty acids do 2 things simultaneously at the liver level. First, they restore the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, reducing the NF-kappa B inflammatory signaling activated in stage 3. Second, EPA and DHA directly suppress the de novo lipogenesis pathway activated by fructose in stage 1. Meta-analyses of omega. 3 trials in NAFLD patients consistently show reductions in liver fat and triglycerides. Those effects appear in as few as 8 weeks of consistent intake. Here's what makes this different after 45. The liver's ability to convert plant-based omega-3s like those in flaxseed into usable DHA drops significantly after midlife. That conversion pathway becomes unreliable precisely when you need it most. Direct dietary sources of EPA and DHA, actual fatty fish, bypass that conversion bottleneck entirely. 2 to 3 servings per week is the threshold appearing in clinical benefit studies. Here's how to apply all 6 stages as 4 practical adjustments starting this week. Protocol 1. Audit your hidden fructose load. Stage 1 showed that fructose is the most direct portal vein driver of hepatic fat accumulation after 45. Most people assume they eat very little fructose because they avoid obvious sweets. But fructose hides in flavored yogurts, fruit juices, protein bars, salad dressings, and most condiments. For 1 week, read ingredient labels and identify every product with added fructose or high fructose corn syrup listed in the first 5 ingredients. You don't need to eliminate whole fruit. Whole fruit delivers fructose with fiber, and fiber measurably slows portal absorption. The target is specifically added fructose, the kind that arrives with no fiber to slow the delivery. Protocol 2. Replace the omega-6 imbalance, not just reduce it. Stage 3 showed that the omega-6 to omega-3 problem is a ratio issue, not a quantity issue. Cutting processed foods without adding omega-3 sources addresses only half the equation. Your specific action. Switch your primary cooking fat to extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons daily, as your baseline. Then add 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week to actively shift the ratio. In clinical studies, this 2-step combination produces measurable reductions in liver inflammation markers. Those effects appear within 8 to 12 weeks of consistent dietary change. After 45, your liver needs both signals arriving together, one to reduce inflammation, one to restore balance. Protocol 3. Time your cruciferous vegetables deliberately. Stage 5 showed that sulforaphane activates NRF2, compensating for the glutathione decline that begins in your mid-40s. Sulforaphane activation peaks 2 to 4 hours after consumption. Placing cruciferous vegetables at your largest meal, lunch, or dinner means peak NRF2 activation coincides with your liver's highest metabolic workload. 1 serving of raw or lightly steamed broccoli or Brussels sprouts is sufficient for measurable NRF2 induction. Pair it with a small amount of olive oil. That combination shows synergistic anti-inflammatory effects in liver research. Protocol 4. Give your liver a 16-hour overnight window. This isn't a weight loss protocol. It's a liver clearance window. Stages 1 and 2 showed that both fructose-driven lipogenesis and insulin-driven fat retention have recovery windows extending 12 or more hours. Finish your last meal by 8 in the evening. Wait until 8 the following morning, and you've given your liver a full 16-hour repair window. After 45, this window matters more because cell renewal is slower. Every hour of uninterrupted liver recovery compounds across weeks and months. No calorie counting required. Just give the pipeline time to clear. Your liver is not a passive filter. It is the most metabolically active organ in your body. And the foods you send through that portal vein are writing its biological age in real time with every meal. Research from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health points to something worth holding on to. People who reach 70 with healthy liver metabolic function show significantly lower rates of cardiovascular disease. They also show lower rates of cognitive decline and all-cause mortality well into their 80s and 90s. The choices you make in your 40s and 50s are directly shaping what that number looks like for you. If this changed how you see what's on your plate, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Next video: why cortisol and visceral fat are not 2 separate problems, they are one closed loop. And why fixing only one side is exactly why most people never make progress. I'll see you there.